Okay, hey guys, I'm talking to you today about whether or not I feel like I'm entitled to anything because I'm a wounded warrior, and um, also how I feel about others who do think they're entitled to things like gifts, being sponsored in different events, invited to activities, stuff like that. And I'll say at this point in time, I definitely do not think I'm entitled to anything. And I'm trying to think back after when I was originally injured, which was just over 4 years ago. And maybe at that time when it was still very fresh, I thought I was entitled to stuff, or maybe I was upset if I wasn't invited to an event that I heard about later. Now, like I said, I don't think that way because, you know, I volunteered for a deployment to Iraq. I knew very well what may happen. Uh, I was awarded a Purple Heart. I received a Combat Action Ribbon. While I was there, I received a Navy Com. So I was injured doing military things, and I received military awards for what happened. And I don't think the private sector or nonprofit sector owes me anything. I think it's wonderful all the things that they do. Groups like Rehabbing with the Troops, or the Wounded Warrior Project, or Injured Marine Semper Fi Fund, or on and on and on. There's many, many other groups out there which do so much for us, and thank God they do because they're filling a huge hole, a huge gap that exists out there. But we're not entitled, or I'm not entitled to that. I'm a happy beneficiary of that, but they don't need to do that to me or for me. Now, when I see wounded warriors who believe they are entitled to things, and you, even in rehabbing with the troops, we see that there's a bunch of guys, men and women, who signed up for rehabbing with the troops, happily accepted the gear that came with it, the clothing, the bags, maybe a Wii or a PlayStation 3, but then didn't do any of the workouts, didn't communicate with anyone else, didn't follow the basic rules in accordance with the contract they signed. Well, they're looking for a free handout, and I don't appreciate that, and I'm embarrassed to be associated with that. Similarly, I was at an event this weekend, all for Wounded Warriors. It was a great event. It wasn't rehabbing with the troops, and some of the guys were talking about President Obama, and I wasn't in the room, but some friends of mine were, and one of the Wounded Warriors used the N-word in describing President Obama, which I think is pathetic. I think it's terrible in this day and age someone's doing that. And this Wounded Warrior was degrading the president, obviously on a very personal level, but also saying he hasn't done enough for Wounded Warriors. And if I were there, I would have called him out on it. I was glad to hear he did get called out. Uh, President Obama has done way more for wounded warriors in the VA than the previous administration. And to resort to such a base level and attacking the president that way, no matter who he is, I think is pathetic. But I guess that's a personal issue. But also, this wounded warrior felt he deserved more and more and more. And why? Because he was injured in wartime? Well, he knew that may happen when he signed up and got all the benefits of being in the military. And so it does bother me when I see wounded warriors who clearly feel they're entitled to it. Two things. I don't feel that way. Uh, and I'll continue to go to events, talking about events to other people, encouraging them to go, but I'll never feel like someone owes me anything. Thank you.